I'm Heather from here booktubes, and today is the worst kinds of readers. So these are my personal pet peeves, the things that I've seen other readers doing and participating in and preaching that just annoy me to no end. If you do these things, don't let it bother you. You know, if you like doing it, more power to you. Most of this is very subjective and just personal opinion, but I'm deeply annoyed by you. Just know that. All right, the first one is people who rate lowly because of the type of book it is or the length of book. If you are reading a novella, you know it's a novella. Do not give it 2 stars and say, I wish it was longer. That is dumb. That's so dumb. It's not trying to be a 1,000-page book or a 300-page book. You knew that when you picked it up. It drives me nuts. It's like 1 star, this is terrible macaroni and cheese. And it's like, it's freaking hot chocolate. Why are you judging it on what makes good macaroni and cheese? They're not the same thing. You can't judge them by the same criteria. Did the book do what it set out to do, and did you enjoy that process? That's what you should be rating on. Like, I understand that rating is very subjective. I understand that I'm sure literally millions of people disagree with the way that I rate books. However, don't rate. I literally saw this one time from a booktuber and I just wanted to reach through the screen. They were like, this is a children's graphic novel. It was an absolute delight. 2 stars. And I'm like, an absolute delight? And it's 2 stars. First of all, most 6, 7, and 8-year-olds are not using Goodreads. So when an aunt or a parent goes to look for a book to buy the little child in their life, they're not getting reviews from other children. They're getting reviews from adults. How dare you? How dare you rate it 2 stars when you loved it? Because of the type of book it is. I literally, this has been like 2 years and the anger in me is still right there at the surface. I just am so annoyed. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I also feel like this plays a lot into elitism, where it's like novella or romance or erotica, and it's like, oh, it was great. You know, I absolutely loved it, but it's just erotica, so it's 2 or 3 stars. And it's like, no, you loved it for what it was, for what it was trying to do, for the type of thing that it is. It's an excellent version of what it's doing. So it's 5 stars. If you absolutely adored it, I can't stand it. Then you have readers who gatekeep. I really, really dislike this. You know, the books that you read 5 years ago are not those same books that other people read 5 years ago. For you, that book might be really old news, but for someone else, it's just now getting them into this genre or category or trope, and they are so excited about it. You were excited about it when you first got into it too. Like, don't gatekeep. Don't be like one of those TikTok readers. Let them like what they like. Do I get my book recommendations from TikTok? No, I don't. But at the same time, more power to them if they're happy and reading books that they enjoy. I also don't like when they will like mock books for being lighter, fluffier reads. It's like, the book wasn't trying to explore anything deep. Again, it did exactly what it was trying to do, so it did a good job, and the people who like that will enjoy it. It doesn't make it lesser. Okay, next, criticizing what other people do with their personal property, space, money, time is none of your business. It's none of your business. It's not. I don't actually buy physical books. I don't film in front of bookshelves. I don't have a bunch of bookshelves. I grew up in a house that had probably more bookshelves than any booktuber that you can name. Now, it was all secondhand books, and by secondhand I mean like free or a dime or a quarter. Like, my mom definitely hoards books. But at the same time, I grew up surrounded by books. Like, I understand. I definitely love the Belle scene and Beauty and the Beast with the whole library. I love cozy little libraries in homes. Like, I love that. But that's not what I am doing. One, I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. I can't have nice things. I have dogs and cats, so yeah, I don't feel like my books would be safe if I decide to do them. But also, like, a lot of times the backgrounds of like booktubers and book talkers, it's like thousands of dollars worth of books. Like, I don't have money. I don't have money to be buying even like all my 5 stars. I could never afford to buy all of my 5-star reads. I could probably afford it, but I wouldn't want to spend the money on my best of the year reads either. Again, you're talking about a few $100s, and I don't want to spend my money on that. Now, again, I legitimately read books. I don't pirate books. I read them from KU, the library, or I buy the ebook, but I'm not collecting things just because I liked them. I don't like collecting things. It just takes so much upkeep. It clutters your house. My house is already always a disaster zone. It's not even funny. Buying things is not what I want to do. Buying books is not what I want to do. However, if somebody else is buying books, cool. If they're organizing it by rainbow, it's pretty. If they're turning it so the spine is against the shelf and you only see the pages, it's their book. It's their shelf. It's their house. Let them do what they want. Why are you criticizing them for it? Why? It's not your business. I hate this. I hate this so much. I'm a mood reader, so I don't pay attention to who the author is. Hello, have we met? I am an extreme mood reader. Like, it is not even funny how difficult it is to tell myself what to read, even if I have like an obligation. It's still really hard, which is why I severely limit any and all obligatory reading that I commit to. But if you are not paying attention to who the author is, then you're just going to read white authors because that's who is predominantly published and recommended. So if you're not paying attention, you're not going to read diversely. And if you're not reading diversely, then you think that it's okay for 98% of published authors to be white, and while in America specifically, white people are the majority, it's not a 98-2 ratio. Like, we're severely overrepresented in publishing. Publishing is very racist and it's very white, and I don't want to be contributing to the problem. And if you do want to be contributing to the problem, we're not gonna be doing stuff together. We're not. You can mood read diversely, you can mood read and pay attention to the author, but saying that you're a mood reader so you don't have to pay attention to the author is an excuse, and I don't like it. Okay, next, readers who are rude and belligerent to authors while insisting they should write and release the book that they specifically want. This is unbelievable to me, but I have seen so many examples of this. Authors will say that they don't even want to write the book because people are like harassing them, saying you shouldn't be releasing that book, you should release this, or even like, I want this representation, or when are you going to do this couple, or why has this been delayed again? Like, why are you in an author's DMs or emails pestering them about their book? I don't understand that type of entitlement. I am thrilled when my favorite authors release a new book. Thrilled. And I'm really excited when it's like my favorite series by them. That's awesome. I am a happy camper. But I am never going to try and pressure an author into writing or releasing or giving me a sneak peek or telling me information about a book. I do reach out to authors about releases because I try to include them in my video, my anticipated releases video, but that's it. Otherwise, like, it's none of my business. And if they don't get back to me, that's totally fine. It has no bearing on whether I'll read them or not. But like, authors don't owe you specific things. They don't owe you anything. As a reader, I am so grateful to authors for writing stories because I can't do it. I can't make up stories. And it's literally my favorite thing in the world to read stories. So I'm grateful. And if I have to wait an extra 6 months for a book that I really want, okay, life happens. I'll read other books in the meantime. But yeah, I get so frustrated just by the entitlement and the lack of empathy and consideration that people will show authors, and it's like their favorite author. You should love this person, not be making their life so much more difficult. Reader elitism over non-readers. You are not smarter or more intelligent or a leader or a better person because you consume information by reading it. That's definitely true for people who think that audiobooks aren't real books or any of the things that's so ableist and elitist and garbage. But even if like they're not consuming books in any format in any way, you're not better because you learn a certain type of way. I feel like readers really kind of cling to that identity, especially if you've been a reader your whole life, because as a kid maybe you weren't that popular or you were nerdy or whatever, and it's like, well, I read, so that's my superpower. But it's like, no, that doesn't actually make you better than other people. Learning disabilities don't make a person dumb. Like, they don't. And learning a different way doesn't make them dumb. It's just, it's so wrong and ableist to think that being a reader makes you the elite. Also, like, if they don't read real literature or serious enough books or long enough books, or like, who cares? You can read nothing but fluff your whole life, and if that brought value to your day, yay! It's dumb to act like you have to read a book that's X amount of pages or uses words with this many syllables or is at a certain reading level because it needs to make you think. No, it doesn't. It can be whatever you want to be, whatever you enjoy. Read that. And if you don't enjoy reading, I'm not actually sure why you're watching my video, but if you don't enjoy reading, that's totally fine. That does not make you dumb. It doesn't make you lesser. And anybody who tells you otherwise is garbage. Or even like with reading pace, I read a book a day. What's taking you so long? 1, I didn't want to read your stupid recommendation. Sorry. 2, yeah, I can also read a book a day. I can read 2 books a day. I can read 3 books a day. I don't typically. Because I've been there, done that, and it's not actually the healthiest place to be mentally. But I can read a lot of volume. But how much you read isn't of any value. And also, trying to ding people for reading too much is equally terrible. Like, whether you read 700 books or you read 7 books in a year, it's totally fine if you're doing what you can at the pace you can at the pace that you enjoy. Just make sure you're reading diversely. And then lastly, I was talking to Tracy, who I adore. She's the icon on YouTube is a purple T. It's Tracy M. She's in lots of live shows. She's in lots of my video comments. I really love her. She is bookend to bookend on Instagram. She and I were talking and she reminded me of something that truly just gets on my last nerve. And that is readers who will give an author so many tries when they already know they dislike the author's writing. What are you doing? Why are you reading your 5th Sarah J. Maas book when you haven't liked any of them? I hate to tell you this, but her books are written with her authorial voice and her style and her pacing and her types of characters. They're all very similar. If you don't like one, you're probably not gonna love another. Like, they're very similar. And for me, I feel like I probably go too far on the other end, although I'm not going to change, so just throwing that out there. I won't give an author like a second chance. If I didn't enjoy your first book, like at least a 4-star, chances of me picking up another one are slim to none. Like, I'm not doing it. I have so many books on my TBR, even though I keep my TBR to a very manageable level. Thank you very much. But I never run out of books to read just because I'm not willing to give authors a second chance or because I'm not willing to try the popular books. I do not have FOMO when it comes to reading books. You are never going to be able to read all of it, so why would you be worried about all the ones that you can't, or like, everybody loves this author but I just can't get into them? Then don't read them. Why are you giving them a third chance? They're clearly not for you. Just because they're popular doesn't mean that they have to be for you. I don't understand it. Read authors that you enjoy and try new authors, but don't keep going back to the ones that you don't click with or vibe with or enjoy. Why? Why are you doing it? So yeah, that's my, it seems to be a very unpopular opinion. I cannot believe the amount of booktubers who are like trying this author again, giving this author a third chance. I'm like, but why? You haven't liked anything yet. Why? I cannot relate. I am one and done. Like, either you hook me or goodbye. And if I don't like any of your new stuff, I'm also done with you. Even if I really loved your old stuff. Like, I'm not saying like I rated one of your books 3 stars, I'm done with you forever. I'm saying that the majority of my experience with you needs to be enjoyable if I'm going to read several books by you. It's just that simple. That's how I work. That's how I operate. So that's it. Those are the worst kinds of readers, in my humble opinion. The things that drive me absolutely insane, that just make it where I cannot click with you because you're driving me up the wall. I would love to know your worst kinds of readers, the people that are just like, no. I'd love to hear it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.